40th. Sergeant: It's a whole troop of police. They ought to put there to stop a man like that. Man: But if we'd like me to stop with you, I could be looking down this side. I could be sitting up here on this barrel. Sergeant: And you know him well too. Man: I'd know him a mile off, Sergeant. Answer: The sergeant told the man that it was a whole troop of police they ought to put there to stop a man like that. The man told the sergeant that if the latter would like him to stop with him, he could be looking down that side. He could be sitting up there on that barrel. The sergeant then asked the man if he knew him well too. The man replied that he would know him a mile off. 41. Gwendolen: Quite a well-kept garden this is, Miss Cardew. Cicely: So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax. Gwendolen: I had no idea there were any flowers in the country. Cicely: Oh, flowers are as common here, Miss Fairfax, as people are in London. Page number 251. Answer to 41. Addressing Miss Cardew by name, Gwendolen told her that that was a quite well-kept garden. Cicely expressed her gladness that Miss 42nd. What is the difference between the death of a barber and the death of a sculptor? Asked a friend fond of punning. I don't know, I confessed. The barber curls up the dies, came back my friend's quick reply. The sculptor makes faces and butts. Answer: 42. A friend fond of punning asked me what the difference between the death of a barber and the death of a sculptor was. I confessed that I did not know. My friend added quickly that the barber curls up and dies, and the sculptor makes faces and busts. Sue 43rd. What is it, dear? Asked Sue. 6, said Johanse in almost a whisper. There are falling faster now. 3 days ago there were almost 100. It made my headache to count them. But now it's easy. There goes another one. There are only 5 left now. Page number 246. Answer. Sue asked Johanse endearingly what it was. Johanse replied in almost a whisper that there were only 6 and they were falling faster then. 3 days before there had been almost 100 and it had made his headache to count them. But then it was easy. He reported further that another one fell and there were only 5 left then. 44th. Bishop: My dear, there is so much suffering in the world and I can do so little. Sighs: So very little. Person: Suffering, yes, but you never think of the suffering you cause to those who love you best. The suffering you cause to me. Bishop: You, sister dear, have I hurt you? Answer. Bishop told Person endearingly that there was so much suffering in the world and then sighed that he could do so little, so very little. Person agreed that there was suffering but reminded him that he never thought of the suffering he caused to those who loved him best. The suffering he caused to her. Addressing Person as his dear sister, Bishop asked if he had hurt her. 45. Now Kino's face was perplexed and worried. It is pearl of the world, he cried. No one has ever seen such a pearl. On the contrary, said the dealer, it is large and clumsy. I can give you, say, 1,000 piso. 45. Answer. Now Kino's face was perplexed and worried. He cried out that it was the pearl of the world and no one had ever seen that sort of a pearl. The dealer said that on the contrary it was large and clumsy. He further added that he could give him, say, 1,000 peso. Now page number 251. Exercise 51. Change into the indirect form of speech. First, he said to me, "When will you go home?" I said, "I shall send my son with you." Second, the boy said to the teacher, "Please excuse me, sir. I shall never do so again." Third, he said to the boys, "Let us start at once, otherwise we may miss the train." Fourth, she said to them, "Can't you remain silent for some time? Just let me finish and then decide what you are to do." Fifth, "I am old and lonely," said she. "Have you no pity for my loneliness? Stay with me, my son, for some time more." Sixth, "Boys," said he, "come in and sit on the benches here. I have something very interesting to tell you." Seventh, "Has he failed?" said Jatin. "You bad luck," replied Samar. "Who ever dreamt of it?" Eighth, "The ruby has fallen out of his sword. His eyes are gone and he is golden no longer," said the mayor. "In fact, he is little better than a beggar." "Little better than a beggar," said the town councillors. Ninth, "I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow," said the prince. "You have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on the lips." "It is not to Egypt that I am going," said the swallow. "I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep." 10th, "Go back in peace, my son," said Minos. "It is a pity that one so brave should die." Theseus said, "I have sworn that I will not go back till I have seen the monster face to face." At that Minos frowned and said, "Then thou shalt see him. Take the madman away." 11th, Teacher, "Well, Kanti, what's the matter with you? You look so sad." Kanti, "My sister is ill." Sir, the doctor says it is a bad case." Teacher, "Sorry to hear this. What's the disease?" Kanti, "It is a case of typhoid, sir." Twelfth, Perseus replied, "Indeed, O king, I think there is no task from which I would shrink in fear. If I thought that, my boy," said the king, "I would let you undertake a task that I am saving from the bravest man in my kingdom." 13th, "Ah, those days are past," sighed the king. "Such heroes do not live in our times." "You are wrong," cried Jason. "There are many heroes waiting only for the chance to do great deeds." The king laughed aloud and said, "Is it possible that you have never heard the story of the Golden Fleece? Long years have I been waiting for a hero to bring it higher." Page number 252. 11th, "Oh, beautiful lady," said the fisherman, "why have you come to this island in such a strange ship? Who are you and where do you come from? You look like a king's daughter, and the boy looks like the son of a god." Instead of answering, Dance said, "Tell me what country I have come to, and what sort of people live here. I am very unhappy." 15th, then Dance knelt down before him and cried, "O sir, have pity upon me, and let me live in your house as a servant. Be kind to me, as I am a king's daughter, and this boy's father is a god. I will not trouble to you. I will be no trouble to you, and I will not be idle. I can work better than any of the maidens in my own country." Dictys raised her up and said, "My daughter, I am old and I have no children to make my home cheerful. Come with me, then, and you shall be a daughter to me and to my wife, and this your babe shall be our grandchild." 16th, Sergeant, "Stop! Didn't I tell you to stop? You can't go on there." Man, "Oh, very well. It's a hard thing to be poor. All the world's against the poor. Sergeant. Who are you, man? You'd be as wise as myself if I told you, but I don't mind. I'm one Jimmy Walsh, a ballad singer. Sergeant. Jimmy Walsh? I don't know that name. Man. Ah, sure. They know it well enough in Eunice. Were you ever in Eunice, Sergeant? 17th. What's your name, my good woman? Asked he. Judith Gardiner. And your father's name? Ah, poor man. Rip Van Winkle was his name. But it's 20 years since he went away from home, and never has been heard of since. Whether he shot himself or was carried away by the Indians, nobody can tell. I was then but a little girl. Where is your mother? Oh, she too died but a short time since. 18th. He said, Sir, I did not beg of you, sir. We have good land, and we have never been starved like this before, having such good land. But this year the river rose, and men starve even on good land as such time. Sir, we have no seed left even. We have eaten our seed. I told them we cannot eat the seed. But they were young and hungry, and they ate it. 19th. What is the sum? Said Robin Hood. Tell me the truth of it. Sir, he said, it is 400 pounds. The abbot lent it to me. If you lose your land, said Robin Hood, what will become of you? I must make ready and get me gone over the salt sea to the land where Christ lived and die on Mount Calvary. There is no help for it. Farewell, my friend, and good luck to you. 20th. Is not the young prince of Athens standing among you? Said the king. I am he, your majesty, answered Theseus proudly, and I have a favor to ask you. I pray you, let my companions sleep in the courtyard tonight, and let me enter the labyrinth alone. In the morning the others may follow. The prince wishes to die alone, answered king. Let him do so. 21. Prince Theseus, said Ariadne, my heart grieves for you and your friends who must die this dreadful death. You are brave and strong, and your sword is sharp. Why should you not slay the monster and escape tonight with all your companions? Fair princess, answered Theseus, my arm is strong enough to slay any creature, but they tell me that even if I kill the miniature, I can never find my way back out of the labyrinth. 22nd. My daughter, she said, laying her hand on Ariadne's shoulder, listen to the advice of an old woman who has had much experience in life. Be content to reign as queen of your art among women, but do not compare yourself with the gods. Ask pardon for the foolish words you have just spoken. I promised that Minerva will grant it. Page number 253. 23. See, Sancho, said Don Quixote, see those 30 huge giants towering over the plain. I shall do the world great service if I rid it of such cruel and greedy monsters as these giants always are. What giants? Asked Sancho, staring about him. Why, those straight before you with the long outstretched arms. His master replied, Oh, sir, said Sancho, those are not giants which are standing up there, but windmills, and their arms are nothing but the sails, which turn around when the wind blows and make the mills go. 24. Judge, you are a witness for the prisoner. Witness, I am, my lord. I heard that he was to be tried today, and I have walked 20 miles to speak of the truth of him. What is your situation in life? A labourer, my lord, nothing but a day labourer. How long have you known that prisoner? As long as I have known anything. We are playmates together, went to the same school, have lived in the same place. 25th. Ah, Perseus, cried the king, So you have come back without doing what you promised to do. Your courage is not so great as you would have us believe. Nay, your majesty, answered Perseus, I have slain Midas and have brought you her head. That you must prove by showing us the head. Since your majesty insists, behold the head, Perseus cried, and drew it from the bag. It held it high before the king. 26. Columbus. They drink too much. Pedro. They are simple men and must have their relaxation. We have not all your vision, Captain. Columbus. You are beginning to doubt, Pedro. Give me the contents of your mind, and I am an impatient man, prone to be unjust, but I mean well. 27. Francisco. Must simple men suffer because of your knowledge? Columbus. Simple men shall do their duty. Francisco. There are limits to duty. Men will give up many things for duty, but you ask too much. Country, family, friends, perhaps even life itself. All these things you ask us to give up for your glory. 28. Man. Sergeant. I was only singing to keep my heart up. It sings when I think of him. To think of us two sitting here and he creeping up the quay, maybe to get to us. Sergeant. Are you keeping a good lookout? Man. I am, and for no reward too. Aren't I the foolish man? But when I saw a man in trouble, I never could help trying to get him out of it. 29. Who are you? Said the swallow. I am the happy prince. Why are you weeping then? Asked the swallow. You have quite drenched me. When I was alive and have human heart, answered the statue, I did not know what tears were, for I live in the place of Sans Souci, where sorrow is not allowed to enter. 30th. I will wait with you one night longer, said the swallow. Shall I take him another ruby? Alas, I have no ruby now, said the prince. My eyes are all that I have left. They are made of sapphires, which were brought out of India 1,000 years ago. Pluck out one of them and take it to him. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play. Dear prince, said the swallow, I cannot do this. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. B. Report the following dialogues in as many ways as you can. First, summer. How do you feel today, Raman? Raman. A little better. The doctor says I am out of danger now. Page number 254. Summer. Thank God. It was such a serious collision. When I saw you being unconscious in your car, bleeding from the cut wounds on the face, my heart almost stopped beating. Raman. Yes, it has been a narrow escape for me, but I am picking up quite well. Second, foreman. You are a trainee, aren't you? Tom. Yes, that's right. Foreman. Have you ever been inside a factory before? Tom. No, not really. Third, Sudeep. Please do not disturb me. I am very busy. Babul. I am not disturbing you. I am simply listening to some music. Sudeep. It is the loud music that is disturbing me. Would you mind toning it down? Babul. Well then, in that case, you would be disturbing me in my having fun. Fourth, Doctor. You feel tired all the time, you say. Mrs. Sharma. Yes, doctor. I am always tired. Everything seems such an effort. Doctor. And how long has this been going on? Fifth, Amal. I am sorry, Sandeep. I have got a bad report about you from your headmaster. Sandeep. Is it about an incident in the playground? Amal. Yes, and more. As to the particular incident, I am shocked that you could sink so low. Sandeep. The boy called me names and I lost my temper and hit him. Sixth, Nihar. Father, some of my friends are going on a tour during the puja vacation. I should like to go with them if you permit. Father, what is your plan? Nihar, we propose to begin with Agra and end with Mussoorie. Father, have you made an estimate of expenses? Nihar, yes. They will not exceed rupees 800 per head. We shall travel second class on concession tickets and put up at cheap hotels. C. Report the following conversation in a summary form. Do not try to report every word of every line. First, Sudeshana. Jharna, will you be going to Digha for the weekend? Jharna, yes. Sudeshna, I'll take you in my car if you like. I'll be going on Friday. Jharna, thanks for the offer, but I can't go on Friday. There's an operation case on Thursday and I must be here to check on the patient. Second, Vidyasagar. Mother, why don't you use the new woolen shawl? Don't you like it? Bhagavati Devi. You have certainly bought a nice warm shawl for your mother, but I have many sons and daughters in this village. Many of them haven't got anything for use in winter. How can I use mine? Third, Traveller. Excuse me, is this the way to the railway station? Local man. Yes, it is. Walk straight ahead from about 2 minutes and then turn right at the second crossing. You'll get there in a minute. It's on the right. Fourth, no, I won't do it, said William. He was afraid of killing his little son. But little Walter was a brave boy. He wanted to save his father from the cruel Gisler. So he said, I am not afraid, father. I know you can shoot the apple. Then he put the apple on his head and stood under the tree. Now shoot, father, he said. I won't move. Imagine you are Walter. Report this to a friend of yours. Chapter 33. Phrases. 406. Phrases are of 6 kinds. First, a noun phrase does the work of a noun. To ride well requires practice. His going home is uncertain. He likes to play tennis. He enjoys walking by the riverside. Second, an adjective phrase does the work of an adjective. He gave me a chain of gold. He is without fear. It is deed of a hero. I am free from blame. He is a man of fame. This is a cycle made in England. The house built long fell down. This means he gave me a gold chain. He is fearless. This is a heroic deed. I am blameless. He is a famous man. This is an English cycle. And the old house fell down. The adjective phrases in the above example stand for the adjectives given within brackets, but not all adjective phrases can be replaced by adjectives. For example, the man in the street knows it. The tree in front of my house has been cut down. A boy desirous of winning the prize must work hard. Note, the same phrase may be noun or adjectival according to us. Thus, walking by the riverside is noun in he enjoys walking by the riverside, but adjectival in the boy walking by the riverside is my brother. Third, an adverbial phrase does the work of an adverb. He is at the place in the bracket there. He worked with care in the bracket carefully. He came at a great speed in the bracket quickly. I wanted it at this moment in the bracket now. You can get it in all places in the bracket everywhere. He will come before very long or at an early date in the bracket soon. He fell down on this spot or at this place in the bracket here. but not all adverbial phrases can be replaced by adverbs. He came to see me. We fell from the tree. Come into the garden. This must be done at any price. He lives on a small income. Note: the same phrases may be adverbial or adjectival according to use. Thus, in "he is in the room," the phrase is adverbial, but in "the man in the room rushed out," it is adjectival. Fourth, a prepositional phrase does the work of a preposition. He stood in front of me. She is at the point of death. He preserved in the teeth of all opposition. He could not come on account of illness. Note that the whole phrase in front of in the first sentence is adverbial, qualifying stood, but in front of is propositional. Fifth, a conjugational phrase does the work of a conjunction. Come as soon as you can. No sooner had he left the place than the fire broke out. Not only he, but his brother also were present. Sixth, an interjectional phrase does the word of an interjection. What a pity! By Jove! Good heavens! Note: the term verbal phrase is used by some for group verbs. He laughs at me. He looks down upon me. But as there is a finite verb in it, the term phrase cannot be properly applied. Page number 256. Exercise 52. Pick out the noun phrases in the following. First, to err is human, to forgive divine. Second, I like to read. Third, he enjoys playing football. Fourth, I want to do the work. Fifth, running so fast is very creditable. Sixth, to do that was risky. Seventh, he tried to oppose me. Eighth, he was accused of having committed a theft. Ninth, children are fond of playing games. 10th, walking in the sun is sometimes injurious to health. 11th, I promised to go there. 12th, he loves walking alone by the seaside. B. Pick up the adjective phrases in the following. First, a man of sense can never do so. Second, he gave me a cow of white color. Third, the book on the table is mine. Fourth, it is a chain of gold. Fifth, a boy, neglectful of his duties, can never shine in life. Sixth, careless of dangers, he proceeded on his way. Seventh, he lived in a house built of stone. Eighth, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Ninth, he is a boy devoid of common sense. 10th, this is a watch made in Switzerland. 11th, I want the advice of a medical man. C. Substitute adjective phrases for the italicized adjectives. First, he has gone to a distant place. Italicized, distant. Second, I have brought a black cow. Italicized, black. Third, I bore everything with a smiling face. Smiling. Fourth, he gave me a gold chain. Gold. Fifth, the front door was open. Front. Sixth, it is a fearful sight. Fearful. Seventh, he reads in the village school. Village. Eighth, the mountain scenery charmed us all. Mountain. Ninth, he lives an aimless life. Aimless. 10th, white clouds are floating in the sky. White. 11th, he is quite friendless here. Friendless.